Helena is 64 years old. Every single morning, she wakes up to the exact same frustrating ritual. She opens her eyes, and the ceiling of her bedroom is covered in a milky, greasy film. Her eyes feel dry, gritty, like someone threw fine sand under her eyelids during the night. She blinks hard. She rubs her eyes. She stumbles to the bathroom to splash cold water on her face, desperately trying to clear the fog. It takes almost an hour for the blurriness to fully lift. When she finally went to her eye doctor, he gave her a patronizing smile. He handed her a bottle of expensive artificial tears and told her that this is just a normal part of getting older, a simple case of aging lenses and tired eyes. But her doctor is wrong, because Helena is not just experiencing a little morning dryness. Her eyes are actively suffocating while she sleeps. To understand why, we need to look at the terrifying biological event that happens the moment you close your eyes at night. The greatest lie in modern aging is that your vision gets worse because you use your eyes too much during the day. The truth is, the most devastating damage happens in the dark. Let's zoom in on the microscopic anatomy of your eye. At the very back of your eyeball is the retina, a delicate, paper-thin wall of light-sensitive tissue. This tissue is the most metabolically demanding structure in the entire human body. It consumes more oxygen per gram than your brain and more than your beating heart. Think of your retina as a massive, high-performance engine that is constantly running at the absolute red line. During the day, every time light hits your eye, millions of tiny photoreceptor cells fire off intense electrical signals. This constant firing creates a massive amount of toxic metabolic exhaust. In medicine, we call this exhaust oxidative stress. At night, the engine is supposed to cool down. The biological cleaning crew is supposed to arrive to wash away the toxic exhaust. But when you cross the age of 60, the plumbing of your cardiovascular system fundamentally changes. When you fall asleep, your blood pressure naturally drops, your heart rate slows. The microscopic blood vessels that feed your eyes become slightly narrower. If your blood is not heavily saturated with very specific targeted nutrients before your head hits the pillow, the delivery trucks never arrive. The retina is left starving in the dark. This is a state of silent, microscopic suffocation known as retinal hypoxia. The highly specialized cells begin to literally gasp for oxygen, and without the right chemical support, they begin to die one by one. You do not feel pain. You do not see it happening. You just wake up and the world is a little bit blurrier than the day before. But nighttime starvation is only half the battle. There is a second, far more aggressive enemy attacking your eyes in the middle of the night. It is a chemical process called glycation. Think of glycation as biological rust. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at clearing excess sugar from the bloodstream. While you are lying in bed, those rogue sugar molecules begin to crash into the delicate, crystal-clear proteins that make up the lens of your eye. When sugar meets protein in a warm environment, it creates a sticky, toxic compound called an advanced glycation end product, or AGE. These AGEs act like biological superglue. They bind to the lens, causing it to stiffen, turn yellow, and become deeply opaque. This is not just cloudy vision. This is the exact molecular mechanism, the exact origin point of a cataract. It is the rust slowly painting over your window to the world. And what is the modern medical solution to this terrifying nighttime suffocation? It is a complete failure of prevention. The industry sells you artificial tears, liquid plastic that simply coats the surface of the eye, temporarily masking the dryness while completely ignoring the dying retina in the back. They prescribe stronger and stronger glasses, which is like putting a magnifying glass over a dirty, rusting window. And eventually, when the blurriness becomes unbearable, they simply tell you to wait. They tell you to wait until the cataract gets ripe enough, hard enough and blind enough so they can surgically slice open your eyeball and replace your natural lens with a piece of artificial, synthetic plastic. But you do not have to wait for the knife, because nature has engineered highly specific chemical compounds, powerful rust removers, and oxygen boosters designed precisely to flood your eyes while you sleep. But you can't just eat a random fruit salad and expect a miracle. You need a precise molecular intervention. Let's look at the repair Trinity and the exact biological compounds that can reverse the nighttime suffocation and clean the rust from your lenses. And the exact biological compounds that can reverse the nighttime suffocation and clean the rust from your lenses. The targeted strike. To save your vision from nighttime starvation, you do not need a handful of random vitamins. You need a highly specialized targeted strike team of biological molecules. These molecules must be able to do 3 impossible things while you sleep. They must cross the tightly sealed blood-retinal barrier. They must physically dismantle the sticky sugar proteins on your lens. And they must manually open the microscopic blood vessels in your eye to force oxygen back into the starving cells. This is not a job for a standard multivitamin. This requires the repair Trinity. 3 specific compounds found in precise concentrations in very specific fruits. Compound 1, the lens cleaner, Papain. Let's start at the front of the eye, the lens. Remember the biological rust, the sticky sugar molecules called glycation that are slowly turning your clear vision into a cloudy yellow fog? To stop a cataract from forming, you have to physically break apart that sticky glue. And nature has provided a microscopic pair of chemical scissors to do exactly that. It is an enzyme called papain, and it is found in high concentrations in ripe papaya. Papain is a proteolytic enzyme. Its only job in nature is to violently break down dense, hard proteins. When you consume fresh papaya, the papain enters your bloodstream and travels straight to the microscopic capillaries feeding the front of your eye. While you are in deep sleep, this enzyme acts like a microscopic cleaning crew. It chemically snips the bonds of the toxic sugar proteins that have stuck to your lens during the day. It literally digests the biological rust, slowly restoring the crystal clear transparency of the lens before it hardens into a permanent cataract. Compound 2, the night vision goggles, Anthocyanins. Now let's move to the back of the eye, the starving retina. When you drive at night and a car with bright LED headlights passes you, does the glare temporarily blind you? Does it take your eyes several terrifying seconds to recover and see the dark road again? That delay is not just a symptom of age. It is a critical failure of a chemical pigment called rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is the biological night vision goggles of your eye. It is the chemical that allows your photoreceptor cells to see in low light and recover from bright flashes. But as you pass 60, your body stops producing enough rhodopsin to keep up with the demand. To regenerate it, your body requires a massive dose of a deep purple compound called anthocyanins. These are the intensely powerful antioxidants found in the skin of wild blueberries and blackcurrants. But anthocyanins do more than just rebuild your night vision. They are powerful vasodilators. When they reach your eyes at night, they chemically force the tiny microscopic blood vessels in the retina to physically widen. They open the pipes. Suddenly, the nighttime starvation stops. A rush of oxygenated blood floods into the starving cells, washing away the toxic exhaust of the day and preventing the retinal tissue from suffocating in the dark. Finally, we must protect the absolute center of your vision, the macula. This tiny yellow spot in the center of your retina is responsible for your sharpest, most detailed sight. It is what allows you to read a book or recognize a grandchild's face. But the macula is under constant, relentless attack from high-energy blue light, the light from your television, your phone, and the sun. Over decades, this light physically drills into the macula, causing it to thin and degrade. This is macular degeneration,
the leading cause of permanent, irreversible blindness in seniors. To build a bulletproof shield over the macula, you need a rare, highly specialized compound called zeaxanthin. Zeaxanthin is found in incredibly dense amounts in goji berries and the flesh of golden kiwis. Unlike other antioxidants that scatter throughout the body, zeaxanthin is a homing missile. It travels directly to the center of your eye and embeds itself permanently into the macula. It acts exactly like internal biological sunglasses, absorbing and neutralizing the toxic blue light before it can burn a hole through your central vision. By combining the lens cleaner, the night vision goggles, and the central shield, you create a fortress of protection around your aging eyes. But there is a fatal catch. A single dietary mistake that millions of people make every single night. A mistake that instantly neutralizes these powerful compounds, turning the ultimate vision-saving protocol into an absolute waste of time and money. Let's look at the dairy blockade and why the most common way seniors eat these fruits is actively destroying their eyesight.
And why the most common way seniors eat these fruits is actively destroying their eyesight. The fatal mixture. You now know the biological power of the repair Trinity. You know that Papain dissolves the rust on your lens. You know Anthocyanins rebuild your night vision. You know Zeaxanthin builds a bulletproof shield over your macula. So, the logical step is to go to the grocery store, buy these fruits, and eat them. Millions of older adults do exactly this. They buy a carton of wild blueberries, they slice up a fresh papaya, and then they make a microscopic, catastrophic mistake. A mistake that instantly neutralizes every single healing compound inside the fruit and turns the ultimate vision-saving protocol into a complete waste of time and money. They put the blueberries in a bowl and they pour milk over them. They blend the papaya into a smoothie with a large scoop of Greek yogurt. Or they eat a bowl of cereal with milk and follow it up with a handful of goji berries. This is the dairy blockade, and it is the exact reason why so many people eat healthy, but their vision continues to deteriorate year after year. The chemical handcuffs. Let's look at the chemistry of what happens inside your stomach when you mix these specific fruits with dairy. Milk, cheese, and yogurt are incredibly rich in two things: calcium and a very specific animal protein called casein. Casein is a massive, sticky, incredibly dense molecular structure. When you swallow a spoonful of blueberries, you are sending millions of tiny, delicate anthocyanin molecules into your digestive tract. These molecules are highly volatile. They are designed to be rapidly absorbed through the thin wall of your small intestine and shot directly into your bloodstream, so they can reach your starving retina. But when casein is present in the stomach at the exact same time, a chemical reaction occurs. The massive casein proteins act like biological magnets. They physically bind to the delicate anthocyanins, wrapping around them like a pair of chemical handcuffs. They lock the antioxidants inside a massive, heavy protein cluster. The intestinal wall. Now, this new giant Frankenstein molecule travels down into your small intestine. Your intestinal wall is a microscopic filter. It is designed to let tiny single molecules pass through into the blood. But the casein anthocyanin cluster is simply too large. It cannot fit through the microscopic pores of your gut. The door is permanently locked. The healing power of the blueberry, the biological night vision goggles your eyes desperately need, never enters your bloodstream. It is completely trapped inside your digestive tract. And instead of traveling up to your eyes to repair your failing vision, it simply passes through your body and is flushed down the toilet.
A major study published in 2021 proved this exactly. When seniors consumed antioxidant-rich fruits alongside a calcium and casein-heavy meal, their bodies absorbed up to 30% less of the crucial nutrients compared to eating the fruit alone. You are eating the cure, but you are chemically blocking your body from using it. The cold death. But dairy is not the only mistake. There is a second error that destroys the rust remover of the lens, the papaya enzyme inside the papaya. Most people cut a papaya, put it in a plastic container, and leave it in the refrigerator. When they are hungry, they eat it ice cold. This is a fatal error of temperature. Papain is a living, highly active biological enzyme. It requires warmth to function. When you drop the temperature of papaya below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you chemically shock the enzyme. You put it to sleep. When you eat it cold, the enzyme enters your stomach in a dormant state. By the time your body heat warms it back up, the stomach acid has already destroyed a massive portion of its healing power. The chemical scissors never reach your eyes to cut away the cloudy cataracts. The rust remains. To actually save your vision, you must follow a precise set of biological rules. You must time the delivery of these nutrients exactly right, so they flood your bloodstream at the exact moment your eyes enter deep, restorative sleep. Let's look at the 60-minute protocol and the exact ritual you must perform every single night before bed.
And the exact ritual you must perform every single night before bed. The golden window. To reverse the cloudy vision and stop the nighttime starvation of your retina, you cannot eat these fruits whenever you feel like it. You must use a biological timing strategy. Your body runs on a strict internal clock called the circadian rhythm. When you fall asleep and enter the deep restorative phase of REM sleep, your body begins to physically rebuild damaged tissue. But if the raw materials are not already waiting in your bloodstream when this phase begins, the repair cycle fails. This is why you must eat your targeted fruits exactly 60 to 90 minutes before you go to sleep. This is the golden window. It takes your digestive system roughly 1 hour to break down the fruit, extract the papain, anthocyanins, and zeaxanthin, and push them into your bloodstream. If you eat them right before your head hits the pillow, the blood flow is directed to your stomach to digest the food, pulling vital oxygen away from your eyes. If you eat them 3 hours before bed, your kidneys will filter the antioxidants out of your blood and flush them into your bladder before your eyes even begin their repair cycle. 60 minutes is the perfect biological runway. The synergistic ritual. Here is the exact step-by-step nighttime ritual you must follow to maximize absorption and force these nutrients past the blood-retinal barrier. First, choose your weapon. 1/3 of a cup of wild blueberries, 1/2 of a room-temperature golden kiwi, or a cup of fresh room-temperature papaya. Remember the dairy blockade. You must eat this fruit completely isolated from milk, cheese, or yogurt. Wait at least 2 hours after dinner. Second, you must wash the fruit correctly. Do not scrub blueberries under a hard stream of water. The deep purple skin is where the highest concentration of vision-saving anthocyanins lives. If you scrub them, you wash the medicine down the drain. Rinse them gently in cool water and pat them dry. Third, and this is the most critical step of the entire protocol, you must pair the fruit with a fat transporter. Zeaxanthin and many of the powerful antioxidants in these fruits are fat-soluble. This means your intestines physically cannot absorb them unless there is a small amount of dietary fat present to act as a vehicle.
If you eat a bowl of dry goji berries, the majority of the zeaxanthin will simply pass through your digestive tract unabsorbed. To unlock the central shield and protect your macula, you must eat the fruit alongside a tiny source of healthy fat. 3 raw walnuts, a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, or a small slice of avocado. This simple pairing acts like a VIP pass, allowing the fat-soluble nutrients to slide effortlessly through your intestinal wall, into your bloodstream, and straight up to your starving eyes. Aging is not a sentence to live in a fog. You do not have to accept the blurry mornings, the dry, scratchy eyes, or the terrifying glare of headlights as a normal part of getting older. Your eyes are incredibly resilient machines. They desperately want to heal. They just need the right biological tools delivered at the exact right time without the chemical handcuffs holding them back. Stop pouring milk over your medicine. Stop eating cold, dormant enzymes, and stop letting your retina suffocate in the dark. Take control of your nighttime routine. Feed your eyes the Repair Trinity 60 minutes before bed. Protect your macula. Clean your lenses. Open the blood vessels. And wake up tomorrow morning to a world that is a little bit sharper, a little bit brighter, and a whole lot clearer.